All right, I think we're live. I'm gonna check out
All right.
the stream. Stream.
Let's see. Go on YouTube. See if we're live. Can you see? You can see how many
Oh
people are
yeah.
joining.
The
We are live.
What's up, everybody? Let's see if you can hear Yuri.
All right.
The
Hey,
stream.
you guys hear me?
Stream.
Let's see.
Yes. Okay.
We're good?
Did you open up the stream on your end?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. All right. Let's see.
I just checked it out on YouTube. It looks like we're live. Site posted. Nice. All right, now we hang out here and wait. Can you see how many people are joining?
Think so. Yeah. No one's here yet. It's just gonna be us.
Yeah, we're gonna be hanging out.
That's okay. We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
Oh, what's up, Daniel? So I don't know why I can't see if you're watching. Usually it tells me who's watching,
Yeah.
how many viewers are on. Let's see. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing.
There we go. Got 10 now. Loading up in here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're just gonna
What's
chill
going on,
for a moment.
people? There we go. We got a chat in there too.
Say
Daniel?
hi.
Yes. Boring accountant. Let's go.
Say hi and where you're from. Where you're at right now. Last stream I did, the 4:15 deadline stream. Someone's like, "Hello, I am from Turkey," or "I am in Turkey." I was like, "Dang."
Oh, cool.
What?
That's a good place to learn about taxes. But that's pretty cool. The internet is a weird place.
Yeah, I was like, "How did you get here?"
Yeah. I was busy season. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about all that.
Yeah, so the setup that we got right now is it's a ghetto rigged. I'm basically screen capturing from OBS our Zoom call, and you're hearing, yeah, Yuri from the Zoom call essentially. So sorry if it's weird, but this is what we got for now. Maybe we can figure out how to make this better if we do another one. But yeah, I
It
think
seems, yeah, it seems like it's slightly delayed. That's the only
it
thing.
is going to be delayed. So they're going to see us like 15 seconds in the past, basically. So,
Whoa.
um,
Trippy.
so if you're listening to yourself on the live stream, it's going to be not fun. But
Yeah, and I muted that because I couldn't handle myself in the past, man. Jamie, hey, you're Myrtle Beach. It's a good spot to be at.
yeah, so for those that are joining in, if you came from Yuri, my name's Logan Graf, and if you came from my side, this is Yuri Kapilovich, and Yuri's on the LinkedIn side. So you're primarily on Twitter and X, then you probably have never heard of Yuri. But if you've been
True.
on LinkedIn, you've probably seen his posts. If you've seen my posts, because he's everywhere. But it's funny because Yuri and I, we're probably like the opposites, but we're very alike. It's weird. So
Yeah, it is weird.
he's in New Jersey. I'm in Texas. Those are very different places. He's extroverted. I'm introverted. Yuri will say yes to everything. I will like want to say yes, but just never respond. That's kind of how I roll. So you'll
Yeah.
see Yuri in all these like events and like, oh, I was invited by this, and I went to up to New York to the city and all this, and I'm just like, that sounds awesome, but I don't know if I could say yes to that. But
Yeah, I feel like I have to be more selective. I have been better by being more selective over the time, just because before when I first started, I was saying yes to everything. But now it's like, when I went to the city, it was the co-founder of Anchor. So I was like, that's worth my time.
There you go.
And that was a great time. And then we had two random people from LinkedIn show up, which was super cool. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty well. It's a funny way to put it. Yeah, like similar but different. But I also feel like we're traveling in a very similar lanes along each other, and many times get referenced on the interwebs together because we basically just share our financials. I think that that's probably the most common factor of it.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Yuri's on LinkedIn, big on LinkedIn, and he's very transparent how he's running his firm over there, and he shared his financials. So we're having this live stream today just to hang out, talk about the past 4 months, Yuri's idea. So thanks for Yuri for getting this idea and asking me to do this, because he's asked me to do a lot of things and I just kind of ghost him on everything. So
Yeah, now I see why, because you're not a yes man like me. Like I gotta really think about that. But let's talk about 2025 tax season. We started chatting a little bit offline before we got started recording with just the schedule. So walk me through like a regular day for you in this past tax season. What was it like?
yeah, wake up at 5:30,
Ooh.
most likely a.m. Sometimes earlier, maybe even 5, depending on how stressed I felt the night before or how early I was able to get to sleep. Probably, I mean, we'll back it up even more a little bit. Probably go to bed around 9:30 or 10 o'clock at the latest, because you have to if you're waking up that early, or I have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I work from home, so literally I walk down the hallway and sit down and start working on work from about 5:30 to about 7, and then 7 is when the girls are downstairs. Got two daughters, and one is in first grade, so help around downstairs, make coffee, make my lemon water health drink.
There you go. Do you
Turmeric.
dunk your face into ice
Ice.
buckets?
Maybe I need to add that.
Saratoga ice water.
I haven't
Straight to the
tried
face.
that yet.
No, that me neither. I'm not so sure I'm going to. So you do that, yeah. Then you
Then I
get your
work.
coffee.
Girls, the older daughter goes to school, and then I go to work I work from about 7:30 to about 9:30. Have a little breakfast break. This year, I didn't make any breakfast casserole. So those that have followed me, they know I have this busy season breakfast casserole, and I made a stupid video around making it, pretending I was Gordon Ramsay with a
Yeah,
horrible
what's in it?
accent. And so I would make that. The past 9 years, literally every busy season, I've made that casserole. I've made that
Wow.
past 9 years, every busy season. And this year I didn't. So I was like, can I get away with not making this? Because I feel like I should have more capacity this year. And so I
Yeah.
made my breakfast every morning. Even though it doesn't take that long, you still save like 20 minutes potentially.
Dude,
And
it's so true. It's like those little things that count. So what was in that casserole? Because I didn't see that video of you making it.
oh, snap, dude. If you want peak cringe,
Yeah, peak. I love peak cringe.
cringe for sure. It's eggs,
All right.
ground sausage, like breakfast sausage, peppers, like bell peppers, diced up, sauteed onions, and then cheese. So basically, cook the peppers, cook the sausage, cook the onions, put it all in a bowl, crack all the eggs in there, probably like 15 eggs, and then sprinkle in cheese in there, mix it all up, put it in a big baking pan, and then probably sprinkle cheese on top more because of the
Hell yeah.
cheese, and then cook it for about 30 minutes or so, and cut it all up, put it in a big Tupperware, and eat it from Monday through Friday.
Nice. That sounds delicious, man. But you
It's
know what?
good.
It take that time, but then you have breakfast for the next week, basically for the rest of the week.
That's right. Sundays. I'd
Yeah.
make it Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. I guess that's probably why I didn't do it this year, is because my Sunday afternoon was taken up. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to spend free time making a casserole every Sunday, and it ended
Yeah.
up being all right.
So then you crank through, you make your food or whatever, you have your breakfast. Then you cranking, and then I think I saw you work out every day. So that was, I think, you like
Yeah.
midday 12. Is that when you do your
Yeah, eat
workout?
breakfast, work for another hour and a half, then work out about 12
Mm.
for an hour, and then eat lunch that takes about 30 minutes. Usually it's leftovers. And then so about 1:30 I'm working again till about 5.
Yeah.
And
You
then
know, what are your thoughts on those breaks? Like, I say that for a reason, and I experience similar. I'll share my schedule too, but like those little breaks where like you sit there and you're like, okay, like damn it, I gotta go make food. Like I gotta have lunch now. Like, and then and I'm here by myself, so I'll be like, all right, I really gotta do it. But like, okay, I'm just gonna finish this up. I'm gonna go and do my salad or whatever, and then I'm so annoyed and like stressed because I'm sitting there thinking about work, getting texts and shit, and then and then I'll be there. Okay, all right, I'm gonna just make the salad real quick. Or it's like a last minute scramble to figure out what I'm gonna eat
for breakfast or for lunch or both?
for any meal, any
Oh,
meal.
okay. I'm very consistent with, I have leftovers ready for lunch, and then
Mm,
eggs and toasted spinach for breakfast every day.
damn.
So
All right, you are an accounting
it
machine.
is
Okay.
is no
There's no
is
variation.
my middle name basically. I am Logan
Uh,
Consistency Logan Graf.
yeah, here. I thought the middle name was Punchable Face. Because
Yes,
recently
consistently
acquired
punchable face. Logan
graph.
Graf. Yeah.
But yeah, no.
So what's your
I feel
routine?
that my routine. To be honest, it's like honestly just a scramble. More or less, I'm not really consistent, but my day kind of would look like this. So I, usually go to sleep around 11 or so. Wake up at whenever, well, usually my alarm wakes up for like makes me up for my kid. I has to go to the bus stop. So wake up around 7,
Mm.
get my son ready, breakfast, all that stuff. Sometimes, my wife would help out too, if she has the time in the morning. Then drop him off at the bus stop. Thankfully, it's just down my driveway, so I don't have to go too far. And then I come back home. Daughter usually wakes up right around the time when I go back upstairs because we're shuffling around, making noise with my son. She wakes up around 8 or so. And then I'll
What
do.
is that like? My kids wake up at 6 or earlier.
Yeah, this is a recent development, man. So I'm not gonna. I probably shouldn't even say anything about that because I don't want to jinx it. But no, on the weekends they really. I mean, sometimes my daughter will sleep until like 8:30. It's pretty glorious.
That's awesome.
But rare. I'll stop talking about it now so I don't jinx myself. So then basically she'll wake up, get her ready. My wife's getting ready for work. My wife and I leave around the same time, around 8:30 or so, 8:45. I'll leave with my daughter to drop her off at daycare. Daycare is like 15 minutes away. To drive over there, and then that's when the determination I got to make about the gym. I right now off busy season I'm doing 4 to 5 days a week, but during busy season I have to drop it to 3 because I go to the gym. I start working out at 9:30 or so, 9:15, 9:30, and then I finish up around 10, 10:30, and by the time I'm home. And then that's where that breakfast thing comes in. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna eat? Then I scramble to do that. At that point, it's 11 o'clock, and usually that's when I'll start my day. So many people would say, like when especially you and I had this conversation, like I would share my hours. I got that Rise app because of you,
Yeah.
and I was like, let me see my hours, and I would just share it. And at first I was like, yeah, this is so good, like I could show, and then I started getting hate for it, like. LinkedIn hate is different than X hate or Twitter hate. I feel like because Twitter and X is like, you know, they really slam you down.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn is more like, I don't believe you type of stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was like that. And then, yeah, and then I'll clock in at 11 and then my son comes home on the bus at 3:30. So that stretch of time between 11 and 3:30, 4.5 hours with a little half an hour lunch break where I'm trying to work and eat and make the food, whatever,
Mm.
like that's tight. And then it was scrambling to do that. Then my son comes home, hang out with him for a little bit, still stressing because I know all this stuff I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then go with him, do his homework, whatever. Go with him to get my daughter around 5:30. Then my wife would come home around 6, and we do dinner, put the kids down. Then I go back downstairs, and I would work until about 10:30. So usually from around
Oh.
8:30 Usually from around 8:30 to 9, 8:39 till 10:30, 11 sometimes, especially in the later part of the day. But the craziest part is that like the feeling where you start at 11 and end at 11, but you only worked like 6 hours or
those hours.
seven
Yeah.
hours is weird.
Yeah. That
Like it wears on you in many ways because you feel like you got to accomplish so many things in that time span. But yeah, but that would literally would be my schedule every day.
Do you work a lot on the weekends at all?
No, most weekends I was good until I would say the last 5 weekends probably ish. And but it wasn't a lot. I would just work when my daughter would nap. So my son would go to like his piano lessons or something. He usually have them on Saturday mornings, and then he would be gone. Then my in-laws would take him on Saturday. They would take him to the piano lesson, and then they would bring him back at like 3 or 4 o'clock. And then my daughter would nap for 2 hours. So that's usually when I would work. So
Nice.
pretty much you figure like during that time, sometimes she would wake up, but I'd still be working. So usually like between 1 and 3 for the last 5 weekends.
Okay.
I had to like just catch up on a couple things.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar on the
So
weekend. Well, usually I'll try to work a couple hours right after breakfast on like Saturday. Work 1 or 2
yeah,
hours if I need to, and then try not to work after that because I don't know, the capacity for working outside the regular work hours this year was just like I'm over it. I'm
yeah,
not.
totally. Yeah,
Like, this is
and so I
dumb.
know you were also posting your hours. Your hours were looking a lot more reasonable than mine, more I guess believable. But did that time include like counter stuff too?
Yeah,
And
all my work hours are as like admin time, client work, counter, content creation.
wow,
So I'm making a video kind of going over the hours for the past 4 months, and
yeah,
there were some pretty rough hours, like more than 50 hour a week, uh, March time
March
frame.
when
Uh,
everything was like jumbled up together, like when it was like tax season March 15th, because you weren't able to schedule the business returns, right?
right. Yes. So it's kind of on the screen. Sorry, I'm
Yeah, I
blocking
could
your
see it. Yeah,
face.
yeah. It's all good. You can block me.
So yeah, week of March 10th, 46 hours for the week, not for the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Wow. That's a
57
big boy.
hours. I peaked at 57 hours this year.
That's a big boy.
First,
What's the breakdown of that? What was the
Barento.
reason for that week?
This is all client work,
Okay.
actually. So good amount is client work, some admin work, a lot of email,
Oh,
counter, a little bit of
mm.
counter, X, gaming. Why is gaming in there?
Uh-oh. What?
Social
What
media.
do you play, like was it like on the computer?
Yeah, I'll play PC. That's why it's tracking it.
Oh,
I'll
because that
play
could have been something
Siege.
like you did on
That
like a
part
on
of
like a
that could be because on Mondays when I do my one-on-one with my employee, we'll play Siege for like 30 minutes
Oh, that's cool.
together to end it. Like team building.
Nice. I mean, honestly, your social media time, dude, is not that bad. I'm not gonna lie to you that I'm actually very fascinated by that
I
and
dialed
impressed.
that in this year. I feel like I was not on social as much.
Like, how do you
A
do
lot of
that?
that is Facebook and Reddit. So
Oh wow, it's not even LinkedIn. Damn.
why is I feel like LinkedIn should.
Should probably maybe it's classified as something else.
I think I have LinkedIn as a separate. I thought I did as a separate category
Maybe that
because
week you did not peruse it.
X.
Impossible.
I don't know. X is definitely in there.
No, but that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you really have it categorized nice, man. I mine is all over the place with like uncharacterized time
Oh
and
yeah.
and,
It
and
takes a
stuff
while to
and
build it out.
Yeah,
It's
you
got
know,
to.
when I set it up, I really just wanted to capture what my days looked like, and I know what I'm doing. Like I knew what I was doing myself like during the day, but I just wanted to see my actual work hours and if it like broke down the stuff like versus like tax dome. I mean like tax dome or Drake or whatever it is.
Right.
I want to look at these comments real quick. I don't know if you peeked at them.
Oh yeah.
I've got 12 years of GLFR audit experience. I want to do tax, but I'm afraid of the pay downgrade and full-time as tax associate. Oh, ooh. I've had this conversation a lot, actually, because people want to switch over from like audit to tax a lot of times because I do feel like obviously when it comes to your own firm and like, tax is the more popular thing. I mean,
Mm.
with audit background, you can certainly do like the bookkeeping side of things. Um, but to learn the tax, you do got to work somewhere. So like if
Mm.
you got 12 years of the experience that, Daniel, if you got that, like that's a tough thing. You're probably making over, easily 100, 150 grand a year to then shift over to being a tax associate at like 60 or 70. Like that's rough.
Mm.
My recommendation to people like that, honestly, I mean, it's not that difficult to learn how to do a 1040 and like a very super basic like tax return, in my humble opinion. And I know a few people, namely Brandon Hall, who would be a good resource to you, Daniel, to reach out to. He literally left, I think it was EY, at 3 years experience in audit, zero tax experience, and went and launched his tax firm. So where I go with this to a lot of folks who ask is, just if you can, go and try to start picking up the tax returns because you'll learn it. Like you got 12 years in the game here, you're gonna figure it out. Even if it's audit, you don't necessarily need to be in the firm.
Yeah, I think
That's
a firm definitely helps
it
having firm
helps.
experience.
It helps because you get resources and you get to be um like you get to just see all the different kinds of tax aspects. I get asked this a lot about like I did 12 years in bigger firms before I went out on my own. I saw massive tax returns, 80 million, $100 million a year, clients making and super complex tax situations.
Mm-hmm.
And people would say, do you wish you left sooner? And no, like I wouldn't because it has built me a foundation. Aside from the connections I made and some of the clients I still talk to that were in that realm that give me like tax advice and on business and stuff. Aside from that, it's also the fact that like I just literally feel comfortable in like 99.9% of my clientele, and I don't intend and I don't really want the complexity. Like
Mm.
I would I don't want it. So it just makes you feel more comfortable. Um, Mo asked, does all your social media time and efforts help grow your firm with clients? Have you seen a shift from being less of a B2C, more B- I don't know about you, Logan. Me personally, I am very much against B2C on LinkedIn or any socials. That is not the goal of social media. In fact, I haven't I haven't directly received any um, like I haven't directly received any income or any kind of client from LinkedIn, but indirectly in the sense of B2B, where I'll connect with a financial planner or something like that, and have a meeting there, and then they will send me their clients.
Mm.
What I like about that, like the brand development, the fund CPA, all that kind of stuff, the brand development helps with, hey, this guy reaches out to me, I like what you're doing, I like what you're building here, I want to send you a client, and then that client never haggles on the fees.
Mm.
Whereas B2C, if people reach out to me directly, and I'm sure you've had it before, where people are like, hey, can we work together? It's like, they're doing that to a bunch of other people too.
Mm. That makes sense. Yeah, I haven't really gotten that many clients from social
Yeah,
media. A handful. I have gotten some, but
yeah,
not again like kind of like you said, that's not really the goal right now. And all of my content has been for other accountants pretty much. So it wouldn't
yeah.
really make sense to switch gears and all of a sudden turn on client
Yeah.
facing content for my channels. So,
Yeah.
which is
It,
unfortunate, but eh,
I don't think so. I think it still adds value, in my opinion. I think it adds value in the sense that even though yes, it's not client facing, and but indirectly people still view you as a professional in the field that's well connected.
yeah, good point.
That I don't know if you get a lot of that B2B kind of stuff, like, or like, where, I mean, where do clients find you? Like, I'm sure you're getting more, new clients
It's
on
all
the daily, like.
referrals, pretty much. Basically,
Yeah.
referrals from other professionals, like that are mostly local professionals.
Yeah. I
Um,
saw on your website, like, when you fill out that contact form,
hmm
you posted it a while back for like people to play around with. So I played around with it. You have a lot of questions in there. I found it very interesting. Like, you're very focused on your ideal client. It seems like it's like ideally a business owner like in Texas, because you probably don't want to deal with state taxes, and I feel you on that. And
yes,
and
yes.
then high value, like, you show your fees. Like, I think that's cool, but like that. So what is that your ideal client? Basically what I just said.
Yeah, I try to filter out the ones that I don't want to work with before they meet with me. So, like,
Yeah.
if you are out of state, have foreign income, uh, you get
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
auto rejections basically. And I'll
Yeah.
post, I have a demo uh, intake form that y'all can, that I'll post in the chat that y'all can check out that doesn't blow up my emails. Because all of people test out my
Oh,
real one. And shoot, I probably shouldn't have said that because now a bunch of people are going to hit it up.
the haters are gonna blast you.
They'll put like Homer Simpson or, something dumb, uh,
Yeah.
some fake name or. And it's funny, I
How,
had someone doing it almost every day, and I think it was the same person doing it
ooh, you
like,
got a hater.
I don't know if it was a hater, but they're just like probing like what the questions were. They're just like kind of
Oh,
testing it out. But they would use a
interesting.
similar like email every time or answer. So I was like, why is this person doing this over and over again?
They really like what you're doing there. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of a feedback there.
Yeah, I posted a link to the demo of the intake forms to get an idea of what Yuri's talking about.
Yeah. What what's your relationship like with social media?
Oh, dude, it's like a necessary evil these
Mm,
days. Like I love it. I love doing these live streams. It's weird because you get to
yeah.
interact with people. You can see in the chat like people hanging out. I'm trying to find the chat right now on my there it is. So I love like the engaging with other people, but there's always like the dark side of like, okay, the feeling the need to post every day is
Mm,
big. I try not to do, like, if I feel like I haven't posted in a day and I feel like I need to post just to post, I generally try not to post. If I do, and try not to
that's
force
good.
it just because I don't want to. I'm pretty lazy as well, so I'm not gonna force it. Try to be an everyday poster. That's the goal, is to
Yeah.
post every day, Monday through Friday. Not really so much on the weekends, but one post a day. But it's also like an addiction as well.
Ooh.
The dopamine. Like you post something and you're like, oh, likes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's 100% a dopamine. It's literally a drug. I mean, straight up a drug. And that's why I asked that question about what's your relationship like, because, before I started posting on LinkedIn and stuff and being consistent with it, like, I wasn't much of like a social media, like, yeah, I had an Instagram and whatever. Um, but once I started, and then it grew and grew, and now it's like you search for it, like fiending for it, and it's like this weird, it's like a weird relationship with it. I, quite frankly, think it's an unhealthy one on my end, to be perfectly transparent
Mm-hmm.
and honest. I'm on there like a savage,
Yeah.
answering comments because you know. But on the other end, I mean, obviously it serves some purpose, you know.
Once I launched my community, I there's a switch that happened. I was like, I need to
Mm,
engage more with people
yeah.
that are engaging in my content because it's just better. Uh,
Yes.
better for me and how people view me. And I'm selling now. I'm a 100% salesman now for Counter,
Yeah.
uh, because I'm trying to bring in members, and if I ignore people that are asking me questions or something, that's like a potential loss of sale essentially. And I know
Yeah.
that sounds weird if you're listening, like, oh, I'm just a number or I'm just a dollar sign to you. Uh,
No, I get it.
but that's, I mean, kind of the case, but really it's different now that I have a community. I'm engaging a lot more, and not that I don't want to engage, just the effort and the emotional energy it takes to always want to respond in a nice positive way isn't always there, especially when Mo is blowing you up and trolling you the whole time.
Shots fired. Yeah. Well, we see you, man.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. But yeah,
Does he do
I
that to
had a
you?
lot. Oh
We
yeah,
can talk
yeah.
about him.
We can talk about him, right, Mo? It's so annoying that there's like a little bit of a delay because I wish that I could see it live. But yeah, no, it's. I think the crowds, right? The folks have a weird relationship with social media too. Like you'll have big time. Oh, there he is with the LOL. He's been found. We're just messing with you, man. But people out there do have a weird relationship with social media where I feel like breaking through the fakeness of it, where many people think it's fake. Many people might think,
Mm.
everything you're posting. Everybody seems to think, and Mo is not alone in it, that we're doing this like for a reason other than like what we post about. And I don't think you or I, at least I speak for myself, I don't really have any kind of goal. I don't necessarily have any sort of,
Mm.
you know, like end goal. I'm not trying to make money off of the stuff. Legitimately, when I post my posts, it's like, hey, I'm trying to bring value in whatever way possible, whether that's a few laughs, whether it's an April Fool's joke, that I've diabolically planned for a month, or it's whatever it is. So I don't know. I'm sure you're similar. Obviously outside of Counter, which, but again, you're never salesy like go join Counter. It's like here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But you're still providing value and you're still adding value.
Yeah, I try not to be direct a lot with sales, and it's more of like you can approach me. I'm not going to try to
Yeah.
stop you and be like, oh, you should join Counter in a way. I mean, maybe sometimes, but I didn't really have a goal either with social media for the longest time. But now it's really just pointing towards content, like YouTube
Yeah.
channel. I'm about to launch a newsletter, which will point
Nice.
to Counter. It's basically a Counter newsletter. Um, so now the goal is just to bring more awareness to the community. Uh, Probably the end goal. I mean, the end goal
Yeah.
of everything that I do, though, is just to help the profession and help accountants and help the community as a whole. Because
Yeah. I,
otherwise, uh,
yeah.
I wouldn't be doing. It takes up so much time.
So much time. And the interesting thing is, and I think that's a lot of the places where the doubt comes in from other folks. It's like you're on here. I'm not even joking you, man. I mean, some weeks I'll be on this shit for 16 hours a week. You know, 2, 3 hours a day, easy
Yeah.
doing this stuff. And people, and even my friends, a lot of people like, what are you doing this for? I'm not getting paid for it. No, I'm getting zero money from this. In order to make it with social media, and I think one of the comments in there is, I thought about posting on social media, uh, but the haters, especially those that might say I have a punchable face, scare him. But to me, it's not about like I post because I literally enjoy it. Like if you're not enjoying the process of like posting, interacting with folks, adding value, and you are posting for a purpose, like whether that purpose is making money or whatever it is, people see through that, and you might not get the haters, but you just won't get the traction necessarily. Authenticity is really what it sells, what you know, what cuts through the noise, and I think you do it well. You're a very authentic dude on there, you know, and
Appreciate it.
and I try to as well to do that. But yeah, I mean, if like I'm sure on your end too, like how do you feel about like do you seek that like engagement? Do you care? Like how much care do you put into how much a post performs?
Um, Not too much, but posts that I it seems like the posts that I really do care about, like, oh, this is gonna do great, like bomb. Usually it's the ones that I put too much energy in, like social credit energy,
Yeah,
will bomb. It's just weird like that.
so true.
But those are the ones that bomb are the posts that are completely off brand to what I normally post about, which makes sense. Like
Yeah,
people are following me for a specific type of content, and when I don't post it, when I post
yeah,
something completely unrelated, it's like they're probably like, Logan, what the heck are you
yeah.
doing right now?
Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird how you can feel that sometimes? Like I can legitimately feel that through the screen. It's really
Like,
weird.
look at
Like
this.
I don't know.
So April 18th, that was a week ago.
Yeah.
uh, I said the millennial dadder should dress like the blue Power Ranger, and it got, well, 20 likes. Not
I was gonna say, what do you consider bombing? Like I'm like what? Oh wow, that's a one. Oh okay, I see. But what in your mind? And obviously you got X, and is that you?
that is little Logan right here.
Wow, look at that.
Very
Gangsta.
probably around the same time, because this is early 90s. I know Power Rangers was early
Wow,
90s.
Power Rangers was good stuff. What do you consider a bomb? Like a post that bombs but doesn't do well?
This is probably a bomb, but a win in my heart. So
Yeah.
I
See,
thoroughly enjoyed this post. Like,
that's the key. Like, and the same thing with me. It's like you really have to have this mentality where like you really don't give a shit what
yeah,
like how it performs
yeah,
necessarily. Like, listen, I say that of course, but obviously we want the likes and we want this. But to your point, all the posts where I'll be like, "Oh man, this is about to blow up the internet, dude. Like, I'm like, this is gonna get like thousands of likes. Here we go, boom!" And it's like crickets,
yeah. It's always those
straight.
posts. It's so
It's
weird.
always those posts, and you're just like, oh. And recently we were talking offline, and recently I was telling you like, my my engagement has been weird, like for whatever reason, it's just really like low. Um, and I'm like, it's weird again, like the algorithm with all those other factors, but still, it wears on you.
Yeah. When you don't do as well, like you have some really good weeks, and LinkedIn will
Yeah.
send you an email saying, "Oh, you got 100K impressions last week," and then the next week
Oh
it'd
yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you got 60K," or like, "Whoa."
Yeah, and in the grand scheme of things, you got to remember, dude, that's still 100K and 60K. 60K, that's a freaking stadium of people. Like, let me see here. Mo's over here. They told me in order to make it in life, you need to comment on people's posts. Should I stop? No, Mo, don't stop. We just know where you're coming from, and we're just gonna mess back with you. At least that's what I do. Um, let's face it, doing a CPA work is mad boring, and social media is mad fun. So why not monetize it? I think
Put this up here.
the moment that you think, and this is how my mentality is, man, Logan, you can give me your thoughts on it. But the moment you start thinking anything monetization specific is where you would lose people. Monetization, in my opinion, has to be on the low.
Be careful.
Like
Yeah,
it,
you have to
like
be
it,
careful with
yeah,
that.
yeah. You have to be like to the point, by the way, where I've been approached multiple times by brands. Say, hey, can you post this and include a link, and we'll pay you. And I had the moment in time where I would say to myself, yeah, I could do that and get $30 to $40. Rise is a specific example. I'm not gonna do it. A few other brands that are said to do, to share it. But the reason why to me is because again, the moment you show any sort of monetization, I think people, deem it as less sincere. Maybe that's
Yeah,
just me.
absolutely. To a certain extent, probably.
Yeah.
Like I think sponsored LinkedIn posts are really hard to come across authentic because it's just plastered everywhere. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they're getting paid to say this. I think uh, mid roll, mid video advertisements in a video in a YouTube
Yeah.
video is a little different because people can
Yeah.
just skip right past it.
Yeah.
And those I feel like those are a little more natural. I'm biased because that's what I try to lean on, but I do also consider like who I have sponsored the video and what video they're
Yeah.
sponsoring and how it'll come across as well. So
Uh, yeah. And I also think it depends on the medium, on the platform. So to your point, which is a really good one, like YouTube, take everything I said before about like becoming often sincere and ignore that. Because YouTube is a completely different animal, in my opinion, than LinkedIn. Because I think in YouTube, it's expected. Like if I go on YouTube, I'm expecting to get an ad
yeah,
of some sort, whether it's your own, whatever it is. And like you said, you can skip it. But in my opinion, like on the LinkedIn side, that's where, like, if I started, saying, hey, hit this link, do this, do that, do this, do that, it'll take away from the sincerity. But I do agree 100% on YouTube, completely agreed. It's almost like anticipated that you'll have that. Jamie is asking, what's the engagement on your music videos like, Logan? I think she means your
the dancing videos
dancing ones, the pushes. Yeah.
they have been bangers on Twitter,
Ooh.
like hundreds of likes for some of them. I mean, there's one that I'm about to post on LinkedIn that I've only posted on Twitter. I have to like warm up to it, because it's just such a dramatic video. Well,
Oh.
it's not dramatic, but it's just like this is weird. And to post it on LinkedIn is totally different. Like the vibe on LinkedIn, but
Yeah.
I'm probably helping with like the Facebookification of LinkedIn. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I'm probably helping with that because I'm starting to post more memes on LinkedIn and silly dancing video content. But
Yeah.
it seems to be working well. So
Yeah, I think the thing is that, it's funny, like everybody is like, oh, LinkedIn is all buttoned up. Man, when I first started on LinkedIn, dude, like within a couple months, I posted, like I was talking about something about partnerships or something like that, and I was by the pool, so I was like in my bathing suit or something, and and people were like, yeah, like I would get messages, all like text messages, like, Yuri, take it down, and I'm like, nah. Like, because the thing is, like, to me, again, it's all about like the authenticity of me, like not caring enough. Like, I'll post whatever I gotta post, like I'll make it fun, we'll make it interesting. But yeah, to your point about like Facebookifying or Instagram, like, I mean, that's where it's headed. And I know a developer, one of the top developers over at LinkedIn, on the content side. And he told me, he's like, we're pushing video like crazy. Like we're pushing vertical video like crazy. And if you saw recently, you'll see like as you scroll through, like there's like been a ton of recommendations for video now.
really,
Yeah.
I'm looking up one of the dance videos from
Oh,
that I haven't posted on LinkedIn yet. I cannot find it right now,
no.
but
I'm looking at the comments for now.
it's like client. I have decided to prepare my own tax return this year, and then it's me, and then I'm dancing to this song to the uh, it's like a techno song. Do you think you're better off alone?
Oh,
Better off alone.
oh. Actually, I was thinking that when you said that, I was like, that's actually really good.
and
That's really funny, man.
it's
That's a good one.
hilarious. Yeah.
Let me see. I decided I wanted to make videos. I was on a group call and people were asking why and my end goal, what I'm trying to sell, etc. I was like, I don't know. I just want to make videos for small business owners. That mentality, Firelands Accounting Services, that mentality is the way to go. And the reason I say that is because there should be no end goal, at least in my humble, relatively humble opinion of it. Because the moment you have a goal is the moment you put a pressure on yourself to have some sort of result. And when you have that pressure on yourself to have a result and then you don't see it, you're going to stop posting. So it's like, do the posts that you enjoy doing, that you think are fun, that make you laugh internally or whatever the reaction is, and post that. And even if you get crickets, you roll past those crickets. At least that's my take on it. Much in the same as regular posts that are not video. What do you
That's
think
good.
about offering virtual CFO services, and how hard would that be if you're our heavy tax pro?
Let's skip that question.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're just messing with Mo all day today. Well, I'll message you privately about that
let's
one.
talk about. I have a question for you, Yuri. Let's talk
Yeah.
about busy season. Uh,
Yeah.
do you feel like you're at a spot with busy season where you want to improve, or are you just like, I'm
Mm.
okay if I hit the same amount of hours, same amount of like work, money, like next year? Or, like, what are some changes that you would potentially want to make, or you're just like, I'm good. I'm just gonna kind of replicate this every year.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I've been asking myself that question too. To be honest, this year was rough. This tax season was rough, but because of the hours, and by the way, this is the first year that my son was going to public school. Before that, both kids were in daycare, and both kids were there until six, whatever.
Mm.
But that aside, um, I also had the backyard renovation thing, which was taking up easily half an hour to an hour each day, on top of everything else and going out there, whatever. On the money side of things, we always, I really think that there's an inherent desire to always have more. But right now, I'm content, man. I'm happy where I'm at,
Mm-hmm.
financially, and hours. The ratio is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is the ratio of my time and how much I make, and the freedom to just do whatever I want, is important. Next year, I'm not going to have this renovation anymore. I'm not going to, which will be easing off my time. So I think to me, I'm basically like, if it keeps growing, which has been growing,
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, thank God, very blessed in that regard. If it keeps growing and it outgrows my capabilities, and I have to work more than 40 hours a week, then I'll do something about it. Like, I'll hire someone.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the biggest challenge right now. It's like where I'm at. I'm right at this cusp right now where, even though I say these hours are what they are, and many people will say that's nothing, to me, like, that's my more or less my cap. Like, of comfort personally, where I want to be at to still have the ability to do the gym and all those other things that are important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go to myself, say, do I want to hire someone? So that's, so it's that, like, it's that challenging fork in the road.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I'm okay, man. I mean, financially I'm great. This year I just posted the other day, it was like around 110,000, tax season only.
Nice.
Yep, and that's great. Again, I don't have an employee, so it's mostly profit
Mm-hmm.
in that sense. I have my quarterly clients. I'm at around 20,000 a quarter at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's spread across about 10 clients, 10. So on average, I'm right around 1,500 to 2,000 per quarter per client. So you get, like, 10 clients or so quarterly, and those are like basically hour-long calls that we will have quarterly.
Okay.
And then I have my bookkeeping clients that are, right around 8 to 9,000 a month. So between all that, we're going to be around 250-ish for the year,
Dang.
in total. And then I'm continuing my stream of income, obviously
Mm-hmm.
year round. I don't do anything on the bookkeeping side. I outsource that out to, this company basically out in Brooklyn. So it's not overseas; it's here. And Allison, she's phenomenal. She has a team of like 10 people. So I don't do the work. We bill it out. She takes care of it, and I, continue doing whatever I do. So really, my hours. That's how I'm able to keep my hours at 10 or 15 a week now, off tax season. most of which is social media. But yeah, I mean that's so. I think the short version of that question, which is a good one, is I'm content. I'll keep growing so long as
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sacrificing my requirements,
Mm-hmm.
my mantras, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose you could say.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah,
What
revenue
about you?
wise, I might hit the same amount as you this year, but I'm really gonna try to crank up the business clients.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's your split like percentage wise, business versus 1040?
uh, it might be like 70% 1040s. It's pretty heavy 1040.
70% 1040s?
Yeah, individual work.
And are they the ones that so they're the ones you're raising the fees on progressively?
Mm-hmm.
Like over time, you've raised the fees, and now you're up to like I think 1,500 ish, right?
Yeah, about 1500 is where my minimum is. But I'm really considering something like you, where like barrier to entry is like 2K worth of services for the year. Just because it's such a better time for both you and the
Yeah,
client when you're providing more value and you have more touch points. I feel like everybody just gets
yeah.
along better.
And I think the other thing to the point of the minimum fee, it serves so many things, but when you have it blatantly displayed, like on the contact form and all this other stuff, people will be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, no, I don't want that. And who's willing to pay that, right? Who's
Mm,
willing to pay $2,000? Fact is, it's not. It's 99.9% not somebody who just has a W-2.
mm-hmm,
And that is not what you and I are looking for,
mm-hmm.
right? We're looking for that business owner relationship. And so to that point, it pushes away anybody from completing that form unless they're bots. To finish up that form and get it out to you, and then you're getting cleaner, better leads. And most of the time they're business owners. And because you say it's a minimum 2,000, they're okay with it being more
Mm.
once you have the conversation. But you know, I'm not even on Google yet. Like I don't know, like I'm not searchable. Like
Oh,
you cannot find me if you search CPA near me.
that's crazy.
I'm not doing any of that yet. But the reason I set up the website and the reason I set up the contact form was to do that. I just haven't
Mm-hmm.
done it yet because basically I didn't want to be scheduling all these calls with like thousands of
Mm.
freaking leads coming in off
Yeah.
of Google. So, and again, because it's been growing, I like this year I think I grew. I mean, I also got rid of and I posted about it. Like I between clients letting me go and me letting some clients go, I think in total I lost about 20 grand or so, 25 grand
Mm-hmm.
worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took on 40 to 50.
Dang.
Yeah, but again, like and I like one of the best clients that I have, honestly, is these quarterly clients. 2,500 a quarter. It's a 1040 and an S corp. It takes me literally 4 hours to prep both of those because they're fairly simple.
Nice.
And then on the quarterly side, we chat, and the clients love this shit, man. Like, I mean, they make $1 million a year net.
Mm.
They're doing well. So there's a ton of value that we add between some of the strategies and blah 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 blah. But that we won't talk about because people fall asleep. But yeah, it's like when you do that, add that value, and they feel like they're getting the value, they're willing to pay it.
Yeah.
And those that don't, you will lose them. Like, I don't know. Have you had any? You said you had some attrition also this year. Was it primarily from raising your fees?
Yeah. Raising fees and people just their situation, like they sold their rental property or they don't have a business anymore. That actually happened a bunch this past year. A lot of
Yeah.
people were just like, yeah, my situation's way easier now. So
Yeah.
um, we'll consider you in the future, but not this year. So I looked at the revenue year over year, and I'm down gross about 15K
Yeah.
compared to
Year to
last year.
date comparatively.
Yeah,
Mm.
but my net is I'm only down 10K. So
Okay.
I think my costs are down somewhere. I don't know
Did you?
the difference between the salaries that have happened. I mean, I'm paying Gary
Yeah.
more, so something's happening. I don't know. Where I'm not.
Yeah, worth the that's why that's why I do that, like that right after tax season. Like, I mean, it's not as deep of an analysis as like the year end one where I just print
Mm,
my income. It's just because I look at the gross and I compare it, and then I look at my expense. Like, my expenses were higher this year
hmm.
because I switched over to that bookkeeping team over in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
They're more expensive. It's like more like 1,500 a month instead of I was paying like 500 or 600 to someone internally before a month. But it's worth it because my clients just deal directly with them, and I don't do anything on the bookkeeping side.
Mm.
Do you do bookkeeping, or
Yeah, I
like do
do.
you?
I
Oh,
do monthly accounting. My
okay,
employee handles a lot of it.
all right, that's good.
I'm trying to grow that just because it's
Yeah,
just makes sense so much. But
it's the best. I
yeah.
mean, I need to grow that too. And my goal right now is to get that to 15 or 20,000
Mm.
a month. It's very hard,
Yeah.
but I also don't advertise because like it's hard to find people willing to pay. Like that for me starts at about 1,000 a month.
It's way easier to
Um,
lead with taxes, I've found. And then
yeah,
basically you hook them
yeah,
with taxes and then you basically say, oh, we have to do your books too. So,
yeah. I think that helps. Nobody likes being sold to directly. I think it also depends on when I start talking to a client, like a prospect client. The point for me where I would consider where I say like you should really consider doing bookkeeping is the amount of transactions and really the gross revenue. So like if
hmm
a client's telling me, hey, my gross revenue is $1 million a year, like I'm like I'm not sitting there doing a workup for you, an end of year workup for you, or even a quarterly workup for you. Like that isn't gonna be great for any of us and not gonna add you much value. Like that's where I start saying, hey, consider the bookkeeping piece. I'm not gonna
mm,
push you to it, but I think you're gonna get reports. You're gonna get reports monthly on how you're doing.
hmm
I'm gonna peek at them, but we're gonna talk quarterly, and I know all I gotta do is print it out from QuickBooks, and it's a beautiful thing, and we can do some planning. But if it's a client that's doing 300,000 gross, I can I can do that. I can do the workup. It's not that big of a deal. What are we talking about? Usually 400 transactions for the year,
hmm
sometimes a little less.
hmm
So that's my take on that. And then a lot of time, but for anybody that has a business owner who's like over 200,000 in gross, I will pretty much tell them, hey, do the quarterly. Like the quarterly is like almost a mandate
mm.
to those, just because of the value is there from chatting more frequently.
Someone drove by with some super loud bass and I thought it was thunder. I was like,
Oh, damn.
what's
Oh, wait, they got
happening?
those.
But it was someone's
They got those.
bass.
You got that. They got those subs from
I
back in
can
the day,
hear them
man.
like driving all the way around the street, and then all of a sudden
Uh,
they're in front of my
it's like that deep bass, like
yes, and a
those two
Toyota
those
Camry.
the 212s, man. I remember those days. Oof. Back in my hood days. What's your favorite music, man?
I don't know.
Do you have a
Everything. I
favorite
listen to
music?
everything, dude.
Everything, yeah.
Everything. I
What's your rap? What's your rap homage like?
I don't listen to too much rap.
All right, so there you go. So no rap. Okay. I see it. You're into the 90s/2000s techno stuff, like
Dude,
Better
this is
Off
gonna be
Alone.
embarrassing a little bit, but I had a Alanis Morissette kick
Oh,
the other week, and I was listening to Alanis Morissette all week, and it was
there you
like
go.
this is and in '90s, generally '90s, I was listening to Rob Thomas
Mm.
and Matchbox 20 and all the nostalgia hits essentially.
Oh
So
yeah,
I had
totally.
all the nostalgia hits, late 2000s or sorry, early 2000s, late '90s. Uh,
I feel like in all music genres, that was like the place to be. I feel like nowadays, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a rap fan, so all this rap nowadays is trash. And I feel like everybody says that in the and as every generation older is saying it's trash, but it's really trash. I don't even speak. All right, let's see what we got.
Someone posted, uh, wait, sorry,
Yeah,
Najee.
sure.
Can you guys talk about when you feel like it's time to start your own firm? I'm a new CPA with no public experience, but I want to work for myself.
Okay, that's a good one.
I was gonna say if you like getting kicked in the nuts over and over again, start your own firm.
It's so true. It's painful. Nobody talks about this stuff because everybody keeps yapping about entrepreneurship and how everybody needs to do it. But I am so against that because it's not for everyone, but everybody feels like they get like this FOMO because they see people do it. So to answer your question, Najee, like to me, I the way when I started my firm, first of all, it was by accident. So to anybody that's not familiar, I was working at a large accounting firm making $150,000 a year. I got the opportunity from a friend of mine to buy out his practice, $100,000. And I gave notice with that in mind. A few days after that, I gave notice. He got sued by his partner, and so I was getting none of it. But I already gave notice, and so I decided to roll with it. And then I went and I started contracting because I needed money, and doing that accidentally led me to being more selective on the clients because I was making 6 to 10 grand a month contracting, working 20 hours a week, by the way. So like the other 20 hours, I was just building the firm and taking on only who I wanted. My minimum fee at the time was like 1,000. But my point being is like, if you want to work for yourself, I would say that your new CPA, build up that experience first. Give yourself like 2 years, 3 years, I would say, in the public accounting space, and then first of all, you would have the experience, and second of all, you would see what do you want to do, how do you want to do it, because seeing that experience is important, and also whether you really actually want to go out on your own. That's my take on it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
agree. I would separate out being a business owner is completely different than preparing taxes or doing accounting work. So like
Yeah.
it's easy for us to do the accounting work and prepare taxes. However, when it comes to running a business, that's completely different. That's why the industry is in the position that it's in, because we make horrible business owners. So
Yes.
think about like separate those two things out. Like, all right, do I really want to own a business or run a business apart from just doing the technical side of work? And
Yeah.
you have to
But I feel like,
experience it yourself, though.
yeah, because I feel like there's no way you could prepare yourself for the 8,000 hats you're gonna wear on a daily basis. Like, you know, I could be sitting there, I'll be getting a text message, you're like, hey Yuri, when do you think you're gonna get to my tax return? And I'm like, oh yeah, I should be able to do this. At the same time, you're getting an email saying, hey, my payment didn't go through for whatever reason. Is there an issue with your payment system? You're calling that person. While you're doing that, you're getting a text message saying, oh, I got this notice. Can you take a look at that? So you're working admin hat, tax practitioner hat, fire, like firefighter hat, because you're putting out freaking fires left and right. And all
Sales.
of that happened within an hour.
Yeah.
And nobody and nothing will prepare you for it. But the reason why 2 to 3 years is good is because you can handle the technical like fast. Like when that client sends me a notice and they're like, oh, what is this? Like, oh yeah, this is blah blah blah. This, don't worry about that. Or hey, yeah, let me give a call to the New Jersey Department of Taxation and I'll figure it out for you. And no problem. Boom, take care of that. It's done. Or when the client's like, hey, when are you gonna get to it? I'm like, probably in a couple days. And they're like, okay, no problem. Most of the people are understanding of that. We didn't get to your scheduling system also, side note, but I feel like we're running late anyway, but maybe we'll do another one of these or a side session
Yeah.
on that. But yeah, and then, so those are the things that people don't talk about. It's that jumping around all over the place, feeling like your brain does not shut off whatsoever at any point in the day, including the night.
Nope.
You wake up frantically in the morning to check your stupid phone to see, I say that it's rough. So and some people will say, well, you just hire someone, it'll help. But hiring someone, to me, here's my downside. And you have Gary, so maybe you can speak to that. I am very much like I want to be responsible for myself. And to me, it's like if I bring somebody on, I'm, my focus is going to shift over into starting to bring on more work. Like that's my fear. My fear is that I'm going to need to feed this person and their family, and they're relying on me. Not just the teaching side. The teaching I'm not even so worried about. It's like I'm gonna need to keep feeding the firm so that one, I can make as much money, which is obviously important, but also to make sure that they're taken care of and they got enough work. And that piece of it stops me a lot of times from going to that, because then I feel myself going, I take somebody on, and now I'm just okay. Now I got to really bring the work in. Do you feel like that, or is it just me thinking that?
A little bit. I brought somebody on because I wanted to work less, and I didn't mind the pay cut that I was getting. So I kind of calculated, all right, this is how much I'd have to pay somebody, so this is how much I would have left, and then I'd consider the time savings, or maybe it wasn't too big of a time savings, but a lot of the initial prep work for tax returns is completed, which is a lot of work that I don't want to do. And so it saves me for other work essentially to do. But I haven't tried to like replace my income after I hired Gary. And I was expecting a pay cut for him. So that part was good, and I think overall, it's been pretty successful. Like having an employee just depends on like what you want to get out of it, and the type of person that you hire. Like, are they going to be doing lower level work? Are they going to be talking to clients and all of that? But
I spoke to someone on my podcast recently that told me that a lot of times, like especially if you're hiring, like your first hire, if it's going to be somebody who's like on the lower level preparing, you're going to end up spending so much more time and regret that decision a lot of times, because if you're hiring somebody, you're going to have to teach them, spend a lot of time teaching them, and spend a lot of time reviewing their work. And if your end goal is freeing up your own time, and that's the mindset you have, you're going to be sorely disappointed in that aspect. And their recommendation, it was actually Ryan Lozanis, his recommendation was, if you really want to free up your time, but prepared to have a financial hit, but you hire somebody with more experience to be a more tax technical person to really, hey, you come on board and here's all the stuff and go do it.
Yeah.
But Gary wasn't, well, like he was like a staff level person, right? So you had to teach him a lot of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of training. He'd only done like one busy season, I think.
Oh wow.
And wasn't like
okay, so you probably experienced some of that.
He wasn't formally trained as an accountant either. So
yeah. Well, I feel like and to that point, I think to whoever asked that, I already forgot. But like clearly you were able to teach Gary, who is not accounting trained, how to prepare tax returns and do all that. So clearly, if you have the 12 years, it was Daniel. If you have the 12 years of the audit experience, you've been in the field and you are accounting trained.
That helps out a lot. Accounting is a big part of taxes, in my opinion.
100%. Solo firm equals self-employed. Ownership implies benefit from a business activity. So, but if you are the business activity, then self-employment. Yeah. Sometimes when a firm doesn't like the mental burden or responsibility of employees, farm out excess work to contractors. Yeah. One of the things I toyed around with too is doing like a tax season contractor just to help me with tax. But you know,
I have a contractor too.
Yeah,
That
but he's year round,
that's true. Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm talking about like tax season only. But then my big problem is like I already work what I work. That people don't believe that I do, but whatever. I work what I work. So every time I have that consideration, I'm like, okay, if I'm literally working like 35 hours a week, I think was my maybe 38 was like my biggest week. What am I gonna do? And
Right.
like, I mean, I'm sure I'll find something to do, but I mean, I don't live in Texas where the weather is nice. And I feel like that'd be a dangerous thing for me, man. Like, if I lived in like Florida or Texas, something where the weather was nice, like I would just be on a boat or like biking all day, or like I'll be so tempted. Like it's here in New Jersey right now, it's like 77 or 78, and I've been at the brewery yesterday, midday, just hanging out with my wife and got some beers. The day before that, I was biking on one of my favorite bike trails over here. I know you saw my Strava.
Yeah, I was
And,
like, is this guy real? Oh, yep.
is this guy real? No,
He
no,
he
he
biked
is real.
yesterday.
I did bike. It was confirmed. Now you know. If I say I biked and you don't see that Strava, it's gonna be a problem. Putting up some big numbers in there, man. 16 miles the other day I saw. You're a beast. What you get? You got a road bike?
That was probably half the ride. I do 2 rides a week, Tuesday,
Nice.
Thursday, about 8 miles each. It's just a mountain bike, but it's it's not
I got a mountain bike
that
too.
much.
Yeah, I got a mountain bike too, and I do the longer ones. I'm probably next week I'm gonna go out to the beach over here by us and do about 20 miles. 20 miles on a mountain bike is painful.
Oh yeah, it's heavy.
A friend of mine has a road bike, and I tried it one time,
Just fly.
and I'm like, this is what it's like to ride like a normal person. And I was like, damn. But the extra challenge of my bike is something else.
Speaking of working
Jesus.
out, it is workout time for me.
Ooh, yes. All right.
So we
Let's
can
let's
close it
wrap it up
up.
then.
But
Yes, you go do that.
somebody
We're gonna have.
asked if we could post this live after. Yeah, this is after we're done, after the stream's ended, it'll pop up as a video on my channel instantly, or it
Perfect.
may take like a few moments, but the recording will be there uh, from the whole
Yeah, we'll link
stream.
it up.
But appreciate
Well,
everyone
dude.
joining. We've
Yeah.
we,
Thank.
we got like
Yeah.
26 people at one point, which is pretty good for a short notice
Yeah.
stream. So thanks everybody
Thanks
for
for
joining
agreeing.
in.
Yeah. Thanks for agreeing to do this too, Logan. Appreciate all you guys. Enjoying Logan's community counter.
Thanks for joining us, Yuri. This is fun. I think feels like we got like a little radio show or a little
Yeah, that was
talk
kind of
show.
fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I would have kept going, but you're right. Go work out. Go do your thing, man. Enjoy yourself. And
You got any plans today or this weekend?
today we're gonna have some people over after order some sushi, hang out outside. The weather's beautiful out here, so
Is the
in
construction
Jersey's-
done on your house?
It's done. Well, it's done. It's the main construction, the hardscape and everything, and the low voltage I had to run. That's done. But now I have to do the grass part because they ruined all my grass and everything. So we're having on Sunday the contractors come to do like seating and that type of exciting stuff. It's like never done, but whatever. It'll be done by the summer, and we have a rush here in Jersey. Like I'm opening the pool in about a month, and once I open the pool up, like we want to be ready for all that, and we have a massive party on the next month on the 25th.
Oh,
Yeah, so it'll be like probably 50 people in my house.
nice, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been real, man. I'll
Yeah.
catch you on the
Everybody follow
LinkedIn's.
Yuri on LinkedIn.
Yeah, man. And likewise too, Logan.
You're not gonna
And,
find him on Twitter.
No, not yet. I can't afford another social media platform on my time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll do anything.
Just
Barely
yeah.
have enough time.
I'm basically
Peace out,
on
everybody.
on Twitter as much as you're on LinkedIn. So
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. All right, man. Peace out.
thanks, Yuri. Thanks everybody.
You guys
Thanks for
have any
joining
questions?
us. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to y'all later.
Enjoy. Peace.